Barry, welcome back to Raith TV. How are you?
Yes, very well. We've had a good couple of days training, so yes, we're fresh and ready to go for the challenges coming.
You look back just quickly on Tuesday night, that Greenock Morton game, a 6-goal thriller that everyone left not really knowing how to feel about it. You look at where we are and we look at what games are coming up and you say it might actually end up being a very valuable point in the end with that last minute equaliser from Aidan Connolly.
I think it's never an easy place to go, and every team in the division has struggled down there this season, so to go 2-0 up, that was my frustration, and be so much in control in the game. Listen, I know they will always come back into the game. They'll have moments when they're down there with the fans behind them, the way they play, they'll have moments, but I just felt that we should have shut them moments down a bit better. But credit to the players for coming back to it, but we should have probably held on, or not held on, we should have managed the game better to make sure that we got the 3 points. But for about 60 odd minutes in that game we were so good, and that's the pleasing factor for me, pleasing factor of getting back into the game and getting a point. But the frustration is we should have come away with the 3 points.
When you look at a Tuesday night game, you know, all day you're thinking about the match, you're building up to the match, and then you've got the game, and for a game that ends like the way it did, where in normal circumstances grabbing a last minute equaliser is a fantastic sort of result to celebrate. When you get home, how long do you have to try and reflect on it before because you have the emotions at the time immediately after the game, but then when you look back and reflect on it, does it change, or has your attitude or mindset changed from what you originally felt at full time?
No, well, I think everybody says, even every top team in this division says, if you go to Morton you can come away with a point with it can become a good point in the season, but I didn't think like that. I want to go and win as many games as we can. I also think that because we were so much in control, the point felt, that's why I was probably more disappointed, because I thought we should have came away with 3 there. We probably did deserve to come away with 3 because but for me the most important thing is the performance, and the level performance is there, and the results. I mean, there's been really tough games we've had of late, and I think most importantly for us is we need to keep how would I say, we need to keep the performance levels at where we want them to be, and then always when you have good performances, that's when your results can come on top of that. And as I said, the amount of away games we've had of late has been difficult as well.
Well, yeah, I mean the schedule, it's from your own point of view, when you first came in Raith Rovers, it took you a little bit of time before you even had your first home game here, and it has felt like you've had few and far between these home games. So when you are having Friday night matches, games away from home, it does take its toll. But I suppose, you know, that then makes it back when we do have a run of home games later on in April as well. So do you find that a challenge with knowing that you're going to be scheduled away from home so often?
No, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. And the players enjoy it. Listen, it is difficult. You've got more things you need to plan. I think since I've come in here, I think there was 2 or 3 away games cancelled before I came in, and obviously we had 2 away games, Falkirk and obviously the cup game against Celtic. So that's added all the games in, and that's why we've been playing catch up away from home. But the thing that it didn't surprise me, we take a big away support.
Yeah.
It was really pleasing, that for me. So yeah, we've had games that have I think this is going to be our 4th of the last 5 away from home again. We got a point away at Park Thistle, game could have went anyway. Livingston's probably the same. We've got a point away at Morton, probably should have won the game. We beat Dunfermline pretty convincingly out here. So that's difficult games, and probably should be sitting with a bit more points than we are, but I'm just what we need to do as a team, especially, is go and make sure we perform at the best we can perform at tomorrow, and think like that in every game, because when you do that, it gives yourself an opportunity.
Well, the last time we went away to Hamilton, you know, we found ourselves very early, taking a very early lead. It was a great performance in another midweek game against them. We know what the challenge is going to be. We've played Hamilton. You've had, I think, twice you've played against Hamilton, once away, once at home, and now again this will be the third time. So what are we expecting from our opponents tomorrow? Well,
a good coach and a good manager and a team that's been invested in. They took a few players in again in the window there. So yeah, they've got a team. They've got a lot of players. It's hard to actually gauge what team they're going to be. I think they've got 28 players or something.
Right.
It's quite hard to actually see what team they're going to be. They're going to be a 4, they're going to be a 3. They've mixed and matched it a bit, but John Rankin's a really good coach, really good manager, and he'll have them well organised and he'll have them running, pressing. So that's the challenges that come with us, and obviously you're away from home and their fans getting on top of them and stuff. So it's a challenge for us, but one that we're really looking forward to, and one that we'll stand up to.
When you're looking at the schedule, I mean, you've talked beforehand with the players that you have available, and you've mentioned a few times about wanting to keep lads fit and maybe lighten the load of training so that you do maintain that level of fitness. When you've had these games so close, Friday, Tuesday, and then a game on a Saturday, is more about shape, tactics, analysis in these sort of games, in these sort of training sessions, rather than having boys out running around an awful lot?
Yeah, well, we do a lot with that anyway. Tactics, analysis, we do a lot of that on top of the training pitch out there. But to your question, yes, it's probably more relevant. You've got to think a lot about coming off the back of games that you've played. So, but what we do is we do like a tactical recovery.
Right.
So we're actually thinking of the next game coming ahead while we're recovering from the one we've just previously played. So we try and get ahead of the game with that. And we do a lot of video work, a lot of analysis on the opposition. We do a lot of analysis on ourselves. So yeah, lots of that. We do the right things. We prepare in the right way. But as I said, in this league, the teams are so close. The games are so close. It's a lot of them are difficult to predict. But I think the one thing we've been able to predict about us is our performances levels have been there, and we must keep that up, and we must keep pushing, and we must keep striving to keep climbing up the table.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it before, we're approaching the sort of business end of the season, but we know the Scottish Championship for years. I mean, there's been seasons upon seasons where it all comes down to the last game, where points and every point matters, and we're coming up against a team who are maybe fighting for relegation, they're fighting for survival, whereas we're at the other end looking to try and catch that fourth place. You know, this is the first time you've been in the Scottish Championship, that intensity level. Is it great to be in there where every single game matters, every single point matters?
Yeah, well, I think every single game matters to me, wherever I've been. I think teams that are fighting at the bottom end of the table, or teams that are fighting at the top, they're always dangerous. Teams are dangerous. They've got their plans of where they want to go to, and all the rest of it. So the focus has to be on us, and it has to be on. Listen, we do a lot of work on the opposition, and we do a lot of how we think they're going to play, how we're going to play against them, all these different things. But it's getting the focus on our players, and the focus on our team, and the focus on our fans, and us as a club, and really bringing that focus to the front. And as I said, keep doing the things that we're doing, keep getting better at the things that we're doing, and simple things, as I always say: run for your club, work hard, which they do. The boys do it all the time. They're so good at it, and you'll get your rewards in the end for that.
Well, fingers crossed we get that reward tomorrow. All the very best, Barry. Thank you.
Thank you.